Tonight's Monday Night Raw was in Toronto, and that means Edge was back in front of his hometown crowd for the first time in a while. He faced his former Judgment Day associate Damian Priest. Speaking of Canadians, Trish Stratus made a special appearance on tonight's show, but did not advertise the purpose of her arrival ahead of time. We also saw the women's tag title tournament continue when Dakota Kai and Io Sky took on Asuka and Alexa Bliss in the semifinal round. Let's take a look at everything that happened on this edition of Monday Night Raw, for this is Ridiculously Raw. Welcome everybody to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube and Streaming.com today. I am your host Anthony Florio, joined as always by good old MF Michael Fletcher. And of course the Phenom, Michael Bullock, fresh off another one of our legendary Raw chats as always. And we had another fun one, to say the very least. Another week, another A Raw tonight. And this Monday Night Raw was live, of course, from the Scotiabank Arena, formerly the Air Canada Centre in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, on the USA Network, the home of the NHL's Toronto Maple Leafs and the NBA's Toronto Raptors. And we started it with a brawl. Seth freaking Rollins and Riddle going to town on each other, going into the crowd and the whole nine. A pull-apart brawl from Seth Rollins and Edge, or I should say Seth Rollins and Riddle, rather, leading into their showdown at the Clash at the Castle event as part of the most loaded Labor Day weekend you'll ever see. But for right now, let's get into the real start of the show. And it started with the hometown girl, Trish Stratus. We're going to have a fun commentary flashback in just a moment. But first, Trish comes out, cuts a promo, and then gets interrupted by the stable that, from what I'm hearing, is going to be known as Damage Control, although that's not official yet. But the unofficial name is Damage Control. Bayley, Io Sky, Dakota Kai interrupt Trish. And then Trish gets some backup in the form of the Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair, as well as Alexa Bliss and Asuka. They all went. They all had a verbal exchange, and then from there, we had the semifinal matchup: Alexa Bliss and Asuka versus Io Sky and Dakota Kai. The winners of the match in 18 and a half minutes. It's Io Sky and Dakota Kai. They're going to the finals of the Women's Tag Team Championship Tournament, which I can now confirm the finals, the championship match, will take place next Monday night on Raw in Pittsburgh as part of the go-home show for Clash at the Castle on the Raw end. Okay, where to begin with all this? Oh my. Okay. The segment sets up some interesting possibilities for a potential return to the ring for Trish. And as far as the match is concerned, we got a much more competitive exchange between Asuka and Io later in the match that allowed Asuka to take control for a bit. And after a long and competitive match, Dakota and Io win the match. They steal the win and go to the finals. Very good, energetic bout to kick off the show. All four women had multiple moments to shine. And the segment that came before it, like I said, sets up some interesting possibilities for a potential return to the ring for Trish Stratus. The first 40 minutes or so of this show tonight got the show off to a very good start. It looked like Io Sky and Asuka were intentionally kept apart for most of the match. A lot of fans have waited to see them fight in a WWE ring for a long time. The three of us included. So their first exchange was saved for after the break, and it was kept short. And Dakota was supposed to duck a back fist but missed, so Asuka had to do it again. It looked a little awkward, but not too bad. But great way to start this show here tonight. One of the segments of the night. You could probably call it the segment of the night. Well, actually, maybe the second best segment of the night, because there was another segment that I thought was a little better, to be honest with you. So, I'm going to give this about 4 to 4.25 stars to jump it off. Great way to jump it off. Now, As far as the fun commentary flashback goes, MF, you know where I'm going with this. Back in the day, whenever Trish Stratus appeared on our screen, you know what I would always do. I would always yell out MF, and sure enough, if it was that same way tonight, you damn sure know I'd be yelling MF MF.
Yeah.
She's here.
And
She's
then
here.
and then I would say, get up, control yourself. You're supposed to be the lead commentator, for God's sake.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, as the Jimmy Smith. But nonetheless, MF, Trish Stratus, who back in our days of the Raw chat, back in our stage announce table days, Trish Stratus was the face of the Raw Women's Division, had a stranglehold on that division for a very long time, along with so many others that made that division so damn fun to watch back in the day. And now here she is with these younger talents and that fun little exchange, and then the match. Dakota Kai, Io Sky, they're going to the finals. They defeat Asuka and Alexa Bliss in 18 and a half minutes in what was without a doubt, and to the surprise of none of us, the fight of this tournament so far.
Yeah. And without a doubt, fight of the tournament, incredible match. 4 stars for me. It was just a great action. It just had its great moment and everything else. And yeah, I mean, there's really nothing more to add here. Trish was amazing. It's always good to see Trish. Always good to see Trish. And you know what? I gotta say it, man. She is like fine wine. The older it gets, the more stunning, beautiful she is.
46 years old and she's still banging.
Yeah, I mean, and think about this: a wife, a mother of 2, I believe. I think it's 2, and she still looks that stunning. I mean, fountain of youth. I don't know what it is, but she. And the thing is, I think she does. She has a yoga thing herself in Canada. So I mean, look, she's got it, man. She has it, and everything else. And yeah, she looks amazing, and everybody played their part really well. And I love the fact that Bailey tried to go saying, well, if you want to get into a fight, that's fine, but look at the odds. It's 3-on-2, my side. Yeah, well, let's say Alexa Bliss and Asuka said, yeah, well, guess what? We're here now. It's 4-on-3. Advantage us. What are you going to do now? I was thinking, man, now you add one more member. I know they do the traditional Survivor Series and it's supposed to be Raw versus SmackDown, but I was thinking this would be a hell of a Survivor Series team to have in Boston at TD Garden.
Tickets go on sale Friday, by the way, for that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But think about that. Look at that matchup. Look at those 4. And then you got 3. And now you could add, and Bailey could add one more on her side. Ooh, that would be one heck of a match for Survivor Series. Yes, sign me up. Shut up and take my money.
Let's go.
I'll be down with that. 4 stars for the match. Incredible battle. Nothing more to say. Yeah, Florio, it's yours.
Michael Bullock.
Bullock, it's yours.
I don't blame you. We're all excited tonight because this show kicked all kinds of you-know-what tonight.
Oh, it kicked ass tonight and then some. And, yeah, I mean, what can you say? I mean, it's just so good to see Trish Stratus and like you said, Florio, during our chat tonight, I mean, she's 46 years old, but damn it to hell, she looks like she's 36. I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, it looks like she can still wrestle a little bit, but yeah, she does cut that promo and then gets interrupted by Bailey, Io, and Dakota, and just when you're thinking like, oh, this may not bode well for Trish, but thankfully the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair showed up, and then Alexa and Asuka showed up. So basically, Damage Control had the advantage. Well, not anymore. And Trish Stratus sent out a little warning to Bayley, saying, "You disrespect me one more time, and I'm gonna go from I am retired to I was retired." Basically saying, I just might come out of retirement to kick your ass, Bayley, for disrespecting me. So, yeah, those are some threatening remarks there. But man, what a match this was! 4.25 stars. I mean, one of the top fights of the night. Yeah, and Florio, I'm surprised you didn't even address this when it comes to the women's tag team tournament. I mean,
I was waiting for that, Bullock. I was waiting to get into that.
I wasn't quite sure what you were going to address it.
Yeah, the some news came out. About 4 hours or so ago. It was about an hour before the show, around 7 this evening. On their Twitter account, it was noted that Gigi Dolan of Toxic Attraction suffered an injury so devastating that she is not medically cleared. So, unfortunately, Toxic Attraction is now out of the women's tournament. And now, Friday night on SmackDown, and this is where MF is going to reap the benefit here. We're going to have ourselves, in Detroit, Friday night, we're going to have ourselves a second chance Fatal 4-Way match with Tamina and Dana Brooke, Nikki ASH and Doudrop, Xia Li and Shotzi, and who was that last
Natalya
team?
and Sonya Deville.
Oh yeah, Natalya and Sonya Deville, yep. Those 4 teams will have a second chance Fatal 4-Way match, and the winner of that match will go on to face, later in the night, or maybe right after, we don't know, will face Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah. And then the winners of that match will face Dakota Kai and Io Sky next Monday night on Raw in the finals. And we will have our brand new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions next Monday night in Pittsburgh. So MF, reap the benefits.
Yeah, and the thing is, I just feel so bad for Toxic Attraction. I mean, they get the biggest moment of their lives where they're competing on SmackDown and this tournament. They win. And then this happens. Oof. You talk about a bad break for them. And Fletch, you know what I say? No worries. I think better days are going to be coming for Toxic Attraction, because I said it Friday night and I'm going to say it again. I think those ladies are going to be part of the SmackDown roster somewhere down the line.
I hate to say this, but I call shenanigans. I have to. Something did not feel right about that announcement. And one other thing, why on earth is Zoe Stark and Nikita Lyons not in this match? I mean, I think that's a major disservice. I mean, I get it. I don't call out Triple H on a lot of things because he's hitting 1,000 until now. I think that was a major, major, major no in my mind. Now, I get it. Toxic Attraction can't go, and I get it. You know, but Nikita and Zoe should be in the match. And I think I know what happened. First off, it wasn't because of Zoe getting hurt. It's because Nikita was not vaccinated. She could not cross the border. She couldn't go into Canada. That's why they had to pull them out. And then I heard the news about what happened, and I'm like, maybe they'll give Nikita and Zoe their shot back, give them another shot at this. And now, Flair, you just dropped it, that saying that, oh no, they're not getting a second shot. They're basically all these other teams. They're getting the second shot. I think that's a major. I gotta cry foul. I do. I cry foul on this because don't get me wrong. There should be an NXT team represented in this match in this tournament, and now we got none. That is a major slap in the face of NXT. I think that's a major disservice for what just happened. Now, it does not matter who goes through. I think Aaliyah and Raquel Rodriguez will go to the finals. That's my prediction for Friday. So, that's all I'm just gonna say. I'll leave it there. Bullet, go ahead.
Man, oh man, I mean, tell us how you really feel, Flint. I don't know how to feel about what Fletch just said. I mean, I want to be very careful with what I could say because I don't want to feel the wrath of the real Viper. So I wanted to say something, but after that, I think I'm just gonna park it there.
That's it.
So 4.25 stars. It's yours, Florio.
All right. So with that, we move on to our next match. It was Finn Balor with Rhea Ripley in his corner squaring off against Dolph Ziggler. Finn Balor wins the match 13 minutes and 5 seconds due to outside interference by Rhea Ripley with a right hand. Did you see that right hand that Rhea Ripley laid into Dolph Ziggler? Wow, what a shot. And then Finn Balor with the 1916 and the coup de grace, or as Luigi PS3 once called it, the coup de grace. But no matter how you slice it, Finn Balor wins the match over Dolph Ziggler. 13 minutes, 5 seconds. MF, your thoughts on this match? What a right by Rhea Ripley, though. Wow.
Heck of a match. Incredible fight. 3.5 stars. The reason why it's going down to 3 was because of the right hand, because of the interference. It didn't really need that, but I will say this. It was an incredible match. And again, another show-stealing performance by both men. Dolph Ziggler is the wily veteran. Finn Balor, you already know his accolades from around the world. He is without a doubt one of the best in the game. And they just tore the house down. I was thoroughly impressed. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. Really nothing more to add. So, yeah, Michael Bullock, it's yours.
You gave a rating for it, did you, Fletch?
3.5.
All right. Yeah, 3.5 is my rating. I mean, it was a good match, yes. I mean, despite the interference from Rhea Ripley with that, oh my gosh, that right hand. I mean, this is why I said, I mean, she could, I mean, she's not afraid to mess around with to mix it up with the men. I mean, she's done it with Rey Mysterio, and now she's done it with Dolph Ziggler. So, yeah, I mean, this is why you never want to cross paths with Rhea Ripley, because I'll tell you this, guys. I mean, if I encountered her, I think I would definitely pull a Snagglepuss and just exit stage left, because I would not want to get on her bad side. So that's all I'll say on that. So it's yours, Florio.
Exit stage right, even. Yeah. So all right. So I'm right there with you. 3.5 stars for this as well. As expected, this was a fantastic outing for both men and had the crowd on its feet, especially in the final minutes. Finn Balor tried to call Dolph Ziggler a veteran, who was trying to clean the younger stars for success. But Ziggler is only a year older than Balor, and started his career 3 years later, so it's good that the show-off brought up their similar ages to show how Balor's argument doesn't hold water. Nobody sells getting Irish whip into the turnbuckle chest first better than Dolph Ziggler and another Hall of Famer, Bret the Hitman Hart. Judgment Day got another new entrance song this week. Very interesting. And Ziggler with the hitting the Famouser. I mean, definitely very Billy Gunn-like, but nonetheless, a very good match between these two. 3.5 stars. Yeah. And then from there, we had the Alpha Academy Open Challenge, even though it was Chad Gable issuing a challenge for a singles match. And who answered the bell? None other than another fellow Canadian, Kevin Owens. Very interesting. We'll get into that in just a moment. But it was Kevin Owens versus Chad Gable. Kevin Owens wins the match. 11 minutes and 10 seconds. Michael Bullock, it wasn't that long ago that Kevin Owens had the Alpha Academy working with him in his feud with Ezekiel. But now, Kevin Owens and Chad Gable fought each other tonight. And Kevin Owens winning the match. 11 minutes and 10 seconds. And wow, what a monster pop for KO in Toronto tonight.
Yeah, and I think, and you saw the signs of the old KO returning. I mean, he had the old Titantron and one of the old shirts he had. So, yeah, so it looks like the old KO is back. So, I'm going to give this about maybe 3.25 stars for this. I mean, this was another solid match here. I mean, that crowd definitely did pop for Kevin Owens, and I don't know about you guys, and like you said, I mean, it wasn't that long ago that Owens helped the Alpha Academy with going after Ezekiel, and now this. I mean, yeah. So I don't know about you, and Florio and I talked about this. I think. And plus, with what happened right after SmackDown went off the air, I got a feeling that Kevin Owens is going to be a babyface. So we'll wait and see what happens. So it's yours, Florio.
And Sami Zayn as well. And I'll get into that in just a moment when I set it up with MF because it happened after his show. But nonetheless, I'm actually gonna give it between 3.25 to another 3.25 to 3.5. All right, now this match seemed like it might be over quickly when it started, but they ended up fighting through a commercial break and well into the next segment. Yes, the outcome was pretty obvious as soon as KO's music hit, but it was still an entertaining bout that helped Chad Gable look like a tough competitor. Instead of using the stunner, KO finished him off with the pop-up powerbomb, and then Otis attacked KO as soon as the match was over. But Owens was able to hit him with a stunner before he dropped Gable on top of Otis with a powerbomb to end the match. And Gable got a little pop mentioning Austin Matthews from the Toronto Maple Leafs. And turning KO babyface in Canada was a wise decision. He was going to be cheered anyway, so using this match and segment to possibly make him into a fan favorite again makes perfect sense. And the back body drop followed by a German suplex on the apron was a nice sequence. KO sold both bumps like a pro. And there was almost no mention of Ezekiel or what Kevin Owens did to him, which might be for the best. This was 3.25 to 3.5. Another very good match on this Monday Night Raw tonight. And MF, I'm sure you got word of it. When SmackDown went off the air this past Friday night in Montreal, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in the middle of the same ring. Riddle egged them on for an embrace, and they embraced. And could you imagine if we get Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn back together as these uber over baby faces? Look out.
Oh no. Oh boy. It could happen. You never know. It could happen. Especially once this thing with Sami Zayn and the eventual turn of the bloodline, because the Usos weren't there because of, I think it was Jay's or Jimmy's problem with the law. So I guess they're not allowed to leave the country. And that's why you saw a lot of Roman with Sammy, but there is eventual threat of a blow off or something that happened like that. So we'll see. Yeah, and anything can happen. You never know how it plays out. But yeah, really nothing more to add. And yeah, who knows? So it, this got the makings for something really good. I'll say that.
All right, and your thoughts on the Owens and Gable match?
It was solid. It was a solid fight. I would say about maybe 2.5 to 3. I thought it was good for what it was worth. It was a hard hitting battle. I'm not gonna say be a man, but it was definitely a hard hitting back and forth battle that we were watching, and it was enjoyable. So I liked it. Nothing more to add there. So yeah. So Bullock or Floyd, back to you.
Yeah, back to me. Bullock started it. So, all right. And this next match was set up via a backstage segment. Look who Raw got to have on the show tonight on loan from SmackDown. My favorite from SmackDown, the Bougie Queen, Aaliyah, Toronto's own Aaliyah. And she was interviewed by Sarah Schreiber, interrupted by Bayley, Io, and Dakota, and then Trish showed up, and then Aaliyah challenged Bayley to a match, and Bayley accepted. I thought they were gonna hold off Bayley's first match until Cardiff, but no, we got it here tonight. It was Bayley versus Aaliyah, and Bayley wins the match 6 minutes and 45 seconds. All right, by default, this was the worst fight of the night, even though this was nothing bad whatsoever. It wasn't all that bad, to be honest with you. It probably lasted a few minutes longer than it needed to. This was not really the time to try to make Aaliyah look competitive. This was the time to reestablish Bayley as a major threat to anyone that steps into the ring with her. This match was passable, but no one's going to really remember it by tomorrow. And Bayley picking up the win and celebrating with Dakota and Io after it was over. And Aaliyah has been with WWE for 7 years and wrestling for 9 overall. And I think can we stop treating her like a rookie just because she looks younger than she is? I mean, she's 27, not some bright-eyed newcomer. And that said, she has never been known as one of the best workers, but this was one of her better WWE performances to date. And part of that may have something to do with who she was facing. And Aaliyah losing in Toronto was one more entry on the long list of wrestlers who have lost in their hometown, including Trish. So by default, worst fight of the night, even though it wasn't all that bad, like I said. A passable match. 2.5, maybe 2 3/4 for this. So with all that being said, MF, Bayley, her first match in WWE since the June 25th, 2021 edition of Friday Night SmackDown in the Thunderdome, nonetheless.
Yeah, solid match, good battle. Always good to see the bougie queen herself, Aaliyah. At least they're giving her an opportunity, and I thought she did very well and a pretty good job. Nothing too serious. So yeah, nothing really more to say, and yeah, so upward and onward we go, and yeah, it was about a 2.25 stars. By default, worst fight of the night. And Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, 2.5 stars. I mean, it was a fun little sprint, and like you said, by default, this was the worst fight of the night, even though it wasn't even all that bad at all. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say on it. So it's yours.
And for the record, Bayley's last match in WWE Friday Night SmackDown, June 25th of 2021 in the Thunderdome, and it was a mixed tag team match. Bayley teamed up with Seth Rollins to take on Rhea Ripley and the current Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio Castagnoli when he was known as Cesaro. How about that? That's who Bayley was involved with when she had her last match, June 25th of 21. So, wow, that's something. All right, Looking through my notes here. Give me 1 second here. It refreshed on me, so gotta find this again. All right. Then we had a tag team match. The United States Heavyweight Champion Bobby Lashley and the phenomenal AJ Styles squaring off against Ciampa and The Miz. And it looks like the match ended in a no contest in roughly 13 and a half minutes. All right. First off, some random plant or somebody in a disguise attacked AJ Styles, and we're like, who the hell is this guy? He's like, he's probably some plant or some random guy.
Some people thought it was Dexter Lumis initially.
I thought it was, but it wasn't.
Wasn't.
It was some other guy. However, Dexter Lumis, like in Canada, like a Mountie, he got his man. He abducted The Miz. Whoa.
Yep.
OMF. No contest, roughly 13 and a half minutes, but Dexter Lumis, he got The Miz.
He kidnapped The Miz. He's holding him for ransom. What on earth is going to happen now? This is the worst case scenario. Poor Maurice, man. Her man got abducted. We don't even know where he might not even make it out of Canada alive tonight. You don't know. So I don't know what's going to happen. This is a bad situation. But the thing is, who the hell jumped AJ? That's the one thing I want to know. Who was it? Who jumped AJ Styles? And why? That's the only thing that's the question I have. Obviously, okay, The Miz. So it looks like we're getting Dexter and The Miz. That's almost a given now. But who in the blues of blue hells had the nerve, the guts, or the cojones to jump the phenomenal one? Because boy, you just messed up. You mucked up. And somebody, dude, I see a phenomenal forearm coming down the pipe, down the line on someone. Tommaso Ciampa got it tonight. Whoever was the Fiend or the Dinkelberg that jumped AJ, man, you starting some, and I know you don't want none. Because with AJ, man, he's phenomenal for a reason. He's one of the best in the game for a reason. Man, that's all I'm saying right now. So, nothing more to say. I know I gave a lot of ammunition to Florio and Bullock because I said a whole bunch of their favorite words and puns and whatnot. So have at it, boys. It's all yours. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, what did you give it, Fletch?
It's gonna have to be an NA, right? Because it was
I gave no rating. Yeah, I gave it a no rating.
I'm gonna have to give it a no rating too. So I think we're all in agreement on that. But yeah, I mean, Miz got kidnapped by Dexter Lumis, but yeah, whoever that Dinkelberg was that went after AJ's, he's definitely got some major explaining to do on this. So yeah, there's really nothing more for me to add. So it is yours, Florio.
Yeah. This match followed the standard pattern we see in tag team contests, especially in WWE. The heels dominated one of the baby faces for a long time, and then the other face got the hot tag and cleaned house for a bit. And a moment, and then the match was called off because of what happened there. It was good, but the ending is what will have people talking. The result will get a mixed response, but the stuff with Lumis has created genuine intrigue. Lashley's vertical suplex is one of the best in WWE, but then again, I can say the same thing about AJ Styles' dropkick. Oh, gosh. The way Lashley threw Ciampa at The Miz outside the ring looked good. The A-lister caught him and sold the bump well. Miz has always been in good shape, but it looks like he has made an effort to slim down a bit recently. He has more muscle definition than he has in years. And it was hard to tell who the first guy who the guy that attacked Styles was. but clearly he was a decoy, so he may not be important. I think he was a decoy, maybe by Dexter Loomis, to get the cops and the security away from him and onto that random guy, so that way Loomis could be free enough to get his man. And he got his man. He got the Miz, and oh boy. So I would have given this another 3.25 to 3.5 if I had a rating on it, but we're gonna have to NA it because we got a no contest. So that is that. And I think we're on to... All right, now, it was announced that the final hour of Raw was going to have limited commercial interruptions this evening. And what a way we started. We're coming back from the break. We're thinking, okay, what's going to happen next? We don't know. Johnny Wrestling. Johnny Gargano is back in WWE. And I think it's only fitting. Well, he was interrupted by his former stablemate in the Way, Austin Theory, and that's really all there is to say there. So I think it's only fitting that Michael Bullock starts this off, because Michael Bullock, as we all know, Johnny Gargano was the heart and soul of the black and gold brand era of NXT. And who would have thought? We never thought we'd see him back. But after the events of the last month and with the way Triple H has been running things, no surprise. And guess what? The game strikes again. Johnny Wrestling is back, and he is on Monday Night Raw. Business has damn sure picked up on Team Red.
As if it hasn't already picked up, but now it's picked up even more now that you got Johnny Wrestling. This man was the heart and soul of the black and gold era of NXT. He had given us so many great matches in NXT, from Ciampa to Andrade. So many names I could think of. And yeah, and the thing is, Florio, the last time we saw Johnny Gargano, he got jumped by Grayson Waller. And then many people thought, and then the rumors came about that they thought that he was going to go to AEW. But I guess those rumors are now put to bed, because, and you could just see the emotion out of Johnny Gargano. And they even panned the camera and said, "I miss you guys so much." And we echo those sentiments to you, Johnny Wrestling. We miss you. And yeah, and basically cutting a promo, and then of course his former protege Theory came out and basically started disrespecting him. And well, let's just say, Theory, here's what happens when you run your damn mouth. You get a super kick from Johnny Wrestling. So he's back. He's part of Monday Night Raw now. All I can say is, Florio, as I give it to you, as if Monday Night Raw hasn't gotten better already, which it actually has, but now it's been taken to another level now with Johnny Wrestling as part of Monday Night Raw.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Not only
think of some of the feuds that you could have on Monday Night Raw.
Oh my gosh. So there's so many to consider. Well, it looks like Theory's going to be maybe his first one, possibly. And think about it. Maybe some of the bigger names down the road. Maybe a Seth Rollins. Maybe a Miz, or who knows? Could we see a feud with his former partner Ciampa? Even though I kind of want to see him and Ciampa get back together as part of DIY. That would be a mark out moment. in the same building where he and Ciampa won the NXT Tag Team Championships back at TakeOver Toronto the night before the 2016 Survivor Series, when they knocked off FTR back when they were known as the Revival in one of the greatest tag team title matches in NXT history. And but anywho, not only was Johnny Wrestling's return not advertised in advance or even heavily rumored to be happening this week, but it was also an awesome moment. The fact that WWE did it randomly after a commercial break makes it feel like just about anything can happen in WWE again. And that is going to create an exciting atmosphere. This was the segment of the night, no doubt about it. And wow, Johnny Wrestling on Monday Night Raw. Whoa. Ho, business just picked up on Team Red. There is no doubt about that. So there isn't much more to say. MF, Johnny Wrestling, back in WWE and on Monday Night Raw. What a coup for Team Red.
Johnny Gargano. Oh my freaking God, the Weeble heart is raging. Yes, there's an inside joke I just did about the Weeble heart. It's a little bit of a nod to my boys. One of the guys who I know really well. He plays WWE 2K22 and all that stuff. We're a part of a wrestling league. And one of the songs that that he played, one of his theme songs was actually Johnny Gargano's Rebel Heart, and he's in a little bit of Japanese anime, so we call it Weeble Heart, and it's a cool thing. I'll tell you it privately later. Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling. God, it's good to see you back in WWE, bro. You're home where you belong. And I'm gonna tell you guys, that's another one of those markers that's gonna start making people think about that's another one of those guys where you're thinking, that's interesting. Because now you got Gargano, Ciampa, to maybe, I think they're going to keep them separated for now. I don't think we're going to get the reunite of DIY just yet. But Gargano versus Theory as maybe the first match? Dude, that could be all kinds of fun. I might have a vested interest in that. Because we've seen Theory and they're booking Theory pretty good. Now you got Johnny Wrestling, and I hope Gargano. I think Gargano will kick the ring rust till he's already been kicked. He might kick the ring rust out of the way. But man, if these two guys go at it, this could be a sleeper fight of the night. Like, that's how good these two could go. So this might be one of those entertaining matches that we're gonna be like, oh, this is gonna be good. So I like it. Big surprise. Man, Trips, Uncle Hunter, Uncle Paul, as you do it, man. You did it again. You sly little devil, you did it again. You did it again, game. I gotta say, man, we bow down to you one more time, man. We're not worthy. And again, you're bringing us more and more of the guys we love, the guys we miss. Now, I'm a little angry that you didn't bring him to the Blue brand, but I hope that means that we're going to get a nice little payoff on Friday night with a surprise of our own, because I'm starting to get a little annoyed, man. The rich is getting richer on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Like, don't get me wrong. We need some help here. We need some talent over here. We need some help. So we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, Johnny Gargano going to Raw, man, it's a perfect fit. It's a perfect fit for Raw. It is a perfect guy. That's the guy you really needed. Michael Bullock said it. This guy is the workhorse. Was the workhorse for NXT for a number of years. This is the perfect guy to have on Monday Night Raw. And like I said, SmackDown, we'll see how it plays out. I like the direction that it's going, but man, this is getting good. This is getting good. WWE is just they're rising. No, Floyo, you can unmute your mic. I'm just gonna say this quick.
No, that was
they're just rising. They're getting better week in and week out, and they're getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And you know what? I don't make any direct shots, and I would never ever make direct shots, but look at what's happening in the landscape of wrestling. Look at what's been happening in the last I want to say in the last month or so. The last couple of months. Everybody was talking about the demise of WWE. And you were hearing it from everybody. The minute Triple H became the lead of creative, the pendulum has swung so far and so fast that I'm going to openly admit it. AEW, if they were thinking that they were going to destroy WWE, they better watch themselves right about now, because with all the drama, all the chaos that's going on in AEW, they might end up belly up and drowning in their own mistakes.
Tony Khan's got to be shaking in his boots now.
I don't think he's shaking in his boots, but I will tell you one thing for sure. Tony Khan, he's got to have to ride this ship, because there's some murky waters going on right now. And the seas are getting very rough on AEW. And let me tell you, that rumor about this problem between CM Punk and Adam Hangman Page is not helping any, and it's dividing the locker room. That is not what you need. This is what was happening in WWE for a number of months when McMahon was running things. The locker room was divided. There was no camaraderie. There was nothing to get. There was no togetherness. There was nothing. There was a whole bunch of problems. And that's why WWE was suffering, and they were falling apart. And everybody who was hoping for the demise of WWE was getting it right before our very eyes. Until what happened to McMahon. Once he stepped away and Triple H took over, look at the difference that's going on now. That locker room is united. They are together. They feel like a weight is off their shoulders, and they're just having fun. WWE is having the best time of their life right now. Attendance.
And it's not just AEW. I mean, Ring of Honor, AAA, Impact Wrestling, all those wrestling companies, they got to be keeping an eye on WWE, because all those wrestling companies thought that WWE was dead until, like you said, when Triple H took over.
And the thing is Triple H, if he gets his way, watch out Impact, watch out Ring of Honor, watch out New Japan, watch out AEW, because your stars could get poached. Triple H has made it no bones about it. Any guy who used to be in WWE that he likes, he's going to go after. And he's going to want to bring under the WWE umbrella. And that could be from NXT to SmackDown to Raw. And you've already seen the proof in the pudding. You've already seen how some of these guys have turned the corner. Kevin Owens, Ciampa, Shayna Baszler, Gargano, who's now back. There's talk that Bray Wyatt could be coming very soon. And Braun Strowman could be coming back very soon.
And also, Karrion Kross is back, and this time Charlotte is with them.
Came, and they're looking like what they were in NXT. I'm telling you right now, any free agent that's thinking about jumping to WWE might be thinking now, I might have a chance. I might be utilized correctly, unlike if I would have gone to WWE where my talent would have been wasted away. Now, guys that were on the fringe is no longer on the fringe. They're probably
And here's another thing that I'm surprised you didn't mention. Tennille Dashwood. She's a free agent.
Yeah.
And she's dating Madcap Moss and MF. Could you imagine if we get Tennille Dashwood back as Emma and on your show SmackDown, considering how much you loved her back in the day?
But the thing is that I want the Tennille Dashwood, not the goofy Emma. And I loved the goofy Emma and everything else, but I want that all eyes on me Emma. That stone cold, in your face killer
like
type
Emma. You want the Tennille Dashwood that we saw in Impact Wrestling.
Yes. Absolutely. I'll take that
The one that doesn't take crap from anybody.
And a former Knockout Tag Team Champion.
And the thing was, her gimmick in WWE was fine because it was getting over. She got over with Santino Marella. And that's why their gimmick worked. Because I love that little puppy love type thing. I know, Florio, you're like, oh, no. And then I know they try to go for the Emelina thing, and it blew up. That was a mistake. That was a horrible decision. Even though I was all for it. I was eating that up. And I know, Florio,
and the
Monday Night Raw, when she came out as Emelina, and I...
February, oh, God, well, I don't even remember the date of it. I think it was February 13th of 2017, that Raw in Las Vegas that featured on the same night Bayley winning the Raw Women's Championship from Charlotte.
Yes.
And the Festival of Friendship with KO and Jericho.
Yes. So, I mean, man. So, we'll see. But I will say this. It's a game changer. WWE is pushing all the right buttons now. And the problem is that I'm telling you right now, I know people talking about the forbidden door. If WWE goes through that forbidden door and starts poaching guys from Ring of Honor, AEW, and all this stuff, they are going to make AEW will be in big trouble. And there's already talk about some guys wanting to go back. Now, there was talk about, there was somebody wrote in an article or I think it was a Twitter post saying how Miro was being wasted, how Andrade was being wasted. And the wrestlers themselves actually liked the comment. What does that tell you? I mean, is it possible that they're just hoping and praying for their contracts to expire? And that way they might be heading back to WWE? Because I'll tell you one thing. If Andrade comes back, or if we get Andrade Cien Almas, if I'm Triple H, reunite him with Zelina Vega. Reunite him with Zelina, and let's freaking go, is what I would say.
And what about Miro? Is there a chance if Miro leaves, do you think we could get Rusev Day again?
Yes, absolutely. He'll reunite with Lana. They take over and they start dominating like they used to. I could see that. Because I don't think because that was the one thing that a lot of people were very about, was Lana's wrestling ability. Now, Lana can wrestle. She can. And I think we might see her in AEW. Because there's been a lot of stuff going on between Miro and the House of Black. And remember, there was that moment where Julia Hart touched Miro. And he said, There's only one person that can touch me, and you're not it. And then I know CJ, well, that's her name, CJ Perry, commented something on social media that almost makes me want to say Lana might be heading to AEW to deal with the House of Black. Now, that would be cool, but has the damage already been done? Could it be too little too late? I know Miro's contract is running, I think it runs out in 2023, 2024. But if you're looking at that WWE thing, you're looking at everything that's going on with WWE. Do you jump? Do you walk away from the millions that I know AEW has been offering? You know what? You want to hear something wicked crazy? Here's something really crazy, and I cannot believe this happened. Nyla Rose makes $2 million a year in AEW. And she is not even a main event talent. Like, have you seen her do anything recently? Not much at all.
Nope.
And she's making $2 million in AEW.
Yeah, that's.
I'm sorry.
That's a waste of money. Yeah, somebody screwed the pooch on that one.
That was Tony Khan.
She ain't worth that kind of money. I'm sorry.
$2 million? Yeah. Are you kidding
Tony Khan, you got some explaining to do on that one.
No, because that's the fact of the matter. I mean, I get it. The money talks. If you can get the revenue, if you can get the opportunity, if this is how you keep your wrestlers by overpaying, I mean, by all means, good for you. But if you're offering that much for that person, look at all the others that got wasted away. Look at all the people who's left up to this point. And a lot of them were original AEW guys. I mean, I don't know. I got nothing more to say. So, I mean, I'll get my high horse. I'm going to get off my high horse for one night. It's yours, guys.
Yeah, either way, I'm saying it right here. WWE is on the way up again. And AEW
is on the decline.
Boy, you guys have got some problems.
Yeah, WWE. I mean, who would have thought? A month ago, it was AEW on the rise. WWE, big time on the decline. But now, after the events that happened exactly 1 month ago, July 22nd, that Friday afternoon, when we got the word, it started that morning when Triple H was announced as the head of creative. But then it was right around 4 o'clock that afternoon. That's when it was announced that's when Vince made the announcement that shocked the world. Even though it was forced because of everything that's been happening with him. Vince steps down. From that moment on, business picked up, and boy howdy, it has picked up ever since.
And to those people who are haters of WWE saying, "Oh, WWE is dead," they are not dead. They are alive and well.
Rumors of WWE's demise greatly exaggerated. That's all there is to say on that. All right. Before we get into our main event this evening, it was announced that next Monday night on Raw in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania at the PBG Paints Arena, the home of the Penguins, which will be the go-home show for Clash at the Castle, by the way, on the Raw side. Seth Rollins and Riddle face to face. The finals of the Women's Tag Team Title Tournament. Dakota Kai and Io Sky against whoever comes out of the SmackDown side of things. And in his hometown of Pittsburgh, Hall of Famer Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is going to be on the show next week. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Get ready for a bunch of "you suck" chants and Luigi PS3 telling people stop. He does not suck.
Yep, that's always been her running gag, and I'm sure we'll get that next week. But for right now, let's get to the big main event. A main event a couple weeks in the making. Damian Priest versus Hall of Famer and another favorite child of Toronto. First it was Trish, now the rated R superstar Edge. Edge wins the match, 19 minutes and 35 seconds. Fight of the night, 4.25, 4.5 stars. I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, this was amazing. This match had a big fight feel to it from start to finish. Crowd was invested in the superstars, worked their asses off. And this was an enjoyable main event that set the stage for some interesting possibilities moving forward. And you don't often see someone utilize a simple shove in a wrestling match, but it actually worked in this instance. The powerbomb Edge used to send Priest into the timekeeper's area was great. The table spot from Priest looked great as well. Callback to the Raw 2 months ago when Judgment Day turned on Edge. And Edge hitting a Hurricanrana from the top rope. That was a nice surprise. And then after the match, Judgment Day tried to get up on Edge, but Beth Phoenix, the Glamazon, Edge's wife, grabs a chair and fends off the Judgment Day. And it creates a very intriguing possibility of maybe Edge, Rey Mysterio, and Beth Phoenix versus the Judgment Day of Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley in Cardiff. You do that, it's over. It's over. This pay-per-view, holy wowzers. This just, like I said, just get us to freaking Cardiff now. That's all I'm gonna say. So, but I know these guys will probably have something to say about that in just a moment. But nonetheless, fight of the night, 4.25, 4.5 stars. Amazing match to conclude what was yet another amazing edition of Monday Night Raw. Another A show, to say the very least. So, there isn't much more to say. MF, Edge, Damian Priest. No surprise they had this as the main event. And also no surprise, Edge goes over in a hell of a main event, 19 minutes and 35 seconds. And then Beth Phoenix comes out. Could you imagine if they pulled the trigger on Edge, Rey, and Beth against Judgment Day in Cardiff? Look out.
Oh yeah, it'll be amazing. 4.25, 4.5 is the rating. Amazing main event. You pretty much summed it. There was so much goodness in this matchup. The limited commercials really factored into this great main event. And props to USA for giving us limited commercials and letting us enjoy this main event. So I think it actually even helped, made the show even more enjoyable because of that, because we didn't have to worry about the commercials being in the way. So absolutely amazing. Nothing more to add. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, 4.25, 4.5. I mean, definitely the fight of the night. This was definitely an enjoyable match. I mean, yeah, and like you said, after the match, Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley ganged up on Edge, and then, of course, Beth Phoenix, I mean, chased them out. And, yeah, I did hear that rumor of possibly having Edge, Beth Phoenix, and Rey Mysterio going up against the Judgment Day at Clash at the Castle. I mean, if that happens, I mean, definitely sign me up for this. So, yeah, amazing match and an amazing way to end what was another A edition of Monday Night Raw. So, how good was it? You're about to find out.
And good old
It's
MF
your
Michael.
story.
Yep, and good old MF Michael Fletcher's going to start it off. So, MF, SmackDown, good luck trying to top that in Detroit Friday night.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that each time we've been challenged. For the most part, we've been able to answer the bell. Last week, unfortunately, we did not, but it was still a solid show. This time, we're facing an 8.5 out of 10 from Monday Night Raw. Ooh, yeah, we got some work to do. But the Usos are back. We're gonna have Roman there with Drew on a face to face. That's gonna be wicked good. We got the second chance. We got the second chance on the women's tag side and the semifinal as well. So that could be a one all at once. So that could be an interesting matchup. Then we also got, what are we gonna see? With Gunther, the reigning Intercontinental Champion. How's that gonna play out? And is there a surprise that Triple H has up his sleeve when it comes to SmackDown? Does he have a bombshell waiting for us? So we'll see. So at the end, yeah, incredible situation, and really nothing more to add. So yeah, Anthony, Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Wait to hear what Bullock has to give this show tonight, MF.
All right, well, yeah, for this edition of Raw, I mean, I'm going to give this, I mean, just because of how good this was, I'm going to give this 9 to 9.5. I mean, this was just, a tremendous addition. I mean, this Toronto crowd was just so into it. I mean, there was not one bad match or bad thing on this show. I mean, yes, by default, the worst fight of the night was Bailey and Aaliyah, even though it wasn't a bad match at all. But everything else was solid to good to great. I mean, and of course, what really topped it was obviously not just the matches, but the return of Johnny Wrestling. That to me is what did it. So 9 to 9.5. It's yours, Florio.
9.5, absolutely. I mean, the worst fight of the night by default, it was obviously Aaliyah and Bailey, even though it was not remotely bad to say the very least. But nonetheless, just amazing. Everything else was great. Always great to see. I mean, Trish started it, Edge ended it, and it creates some very intriguing possibilities of possibly getting Trish out of retirement. I'm all for that. You guys know that because I've had a thing for Trish for so many years. You can ask good old MF Michael Fletcher firsthand. He knows that better than anybody. And oh man, what a night. And what a time to be a wrestling fan. That's all I'm going to say on that. What a time to be a wrestling fan. And Monday Night Raw, with the way they're going right now, is slowly but surely, starting to become possibly now the best weekly episodic live show of all the wrestling shows that air every day during the week. It's on its way up there now. It's right up there with Dynamite now. And a month ago, if anybody had said that was going to happen, I would have said, you're nuts. Dynamite's far and away the best show on television by a mile. But now, Monday Night Raw is quietly becoming that new A show that Dynamite was for so long. So, look out, guys. That's all I'm saying. 9.5. Can't wait to see what happens in Pittsburgh next week. All right. Quickly get into the Tony's Take here. We got Impact Wrestling off the fallout from Emergence. We started it off with a fatal four-way match. Laredo Kid versus Black Taurus versus Ray Horace and Trey Miguel. And Black Taurus wins the match. I don't have a time of the fall, but 3.5 stars. It was a lot of fun. Very surprised Taurus won, but I'm certainly not mad at any of these guys winning, really. And it was a solid way to start the show. 3.5 stars. Then we had Kenny King versus Honor No More versus Heath Slater, for all you WWE fans out there. And Heath wins the match. 2 3/4 of a star. It was solid, but not really a match that I would enjoy that much. I've never really been high on Heath all this time, but it was a fine match. They delivered a fine match, so that's all there is to it. Then we had Savannah Evans versus Killer Kelly. Killer Kelly wins the match, 2 3/4 of a star. Not perfect, but I enjoyed it. Kelly is a superb addition to the Knockouts division. Her character work can improve in spots, but overall, she's pretty entertaining to watch. X Division Championship match, Speedball Mike Bailey defending against the challenger and former champion in his own right, Chris Bay. Speedball wins the match and retains the title. 4 stars. Even though it was a banger, it was a tad short. It was one of the longer matches on the show, but I could watch this one for double the time and still be entertained. And Bailey has been great, and his title run has been more than solid. And then the main event of the evening, a 6-pack elimination #1 contenders match for the World Heavyweight Championship. And the winner of this match will challenge Josh Alexander for the World Heavyweight Championship at the biggest event of the year, their WrestleMania, Bound for Glory, which will take place on a Friday night, if you can believe that. What a way to start your Columbus Day weekend, I'll say that for sure. Friday night, October the 7th, from Albany, New York. Josh Alexander will face one of these 6 men. Eddie Edwards, Sami Callihan, Moose, Bandito, Steve Macklin, Rich Swann. I don't have a total time of the fall, but the winner of all of this, Eddie Edwards. Eddie Edwards gets the title shot. Eddie Edwards is going to Bound for Glory. He's going to challenge Josh Alexander for the World Heavyweight Championship. 3.5 stars. Fun match. And it was just a really, really good match. And some may not like Eddie winning, but I really don't have a problem with it, you know, because you want to get Honor No More over. And I think this is a great way to do it. After all, he is the leader of Honor No More. So I've been wanting to see Honor No More get over for a little bit, and they've got a tag title shot in the weeds, and now Eddie Edwards, come Bound for Glory. Eddie Edwards could be the World Heavyweight Champion once again and bring the World Heavyweight Championship to Honor No More. If that happens, Honor No More gets uber over right there. That's a great way to do it. So that's all there is to that. So Eddie Edwards going to Bound for Glory in Albany on Friday night, October the 7th. Going head-to-head with SmackDown. I don't like that, but, you know, it is what it is. But anyways, 7 3/4, teetering on 8 out of 10. Another good Impact show with great action throughout and very little in the way of negative segments. There could be something interesting brewing with Honor No More, but we'll see. Everything else was good. And because Impact has a strong crew of regulars, things seem to continue at the perfect place for them right now. So this was a 7 3/4, teetering on 8 out of 10 for this show last Thursday night. So not much more to say here. Just give me a moment as I set the table for what we're gonna have on Thursday night, and I got it right here. Chelsea Green and Deonna Purrazzo will have the first defense of their Knockouts Tag Team Championships against the Knockouts champion Jordan Grace and Mia Yim. Team Time Machine, the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin will be teaming up with Kushida against all 3 members of Violent by Design, Eric Young, Joe Doring, and Diener. And Jessica makes her in-ring debut. That's Jessica Havoc. It'll be her first match under this Jessica character. So that'll be Thursday. Oops. All right. Pulled up something there I shouldn't have. All right. All right. So that all goes down 8 p.m. Thursday night on Access TV. 8:30 p.m. on YouTube, commercial free for you Impact insiders. I think around 10 or 10:30 it'll be uploaded to Impact Plus. So there's that. And then one other order of business, and that's NXT Level Up. Started it off with Dante Chen versus Javier Bernell. Dante Chen wins it in 4 minutes and 31 seconds. It was weird that they would hype up Bernell having a big match on Tuesday and then have him eat a loss here. The fan distracting him plays into the story, and not sure how many people watched the show, but it's still weird. It was alright. 2 stars. Ariana Grace versus Ivy Nile. Ivy Nile wins the match, 4 minutes, 24 seconds. Grace put up a solid fight, but Nile continues to roll on this show. She needs to be in the women's title picture. 1.5 stars. And then the main event, Axiom, squaring off against Zion Quinn. Axiom wins in 6 minutes and 10 seconds. I want to see more out of Axiom. Fans loved him. He looked good out there. Mass superstars that fly all over the place and can get sympathy from taking the beating works, and that's what we got here. Quinn's on a losing streak, which would be interesting to see what that leads to. Another 2 stars. 6 out of 10. Nothing great in-ring wise, as is the norm. But Ivy is back, wrecking people, and I'm interested to see what happens with Axiom. So based on the sliding developmental scale, it was a solid 30-minute show. So not much more to say there. So that will put the bow on this edition of Ridiculously Raw. I want to thank you all so very much for tuning in, as always. We'll be back with you Wednesday night, 10 p.m. over on MF's channel, BraceFan95, for another edition of Wednesday Night Madness. We got another big show, guys. Not just NXT 2.0, which is going to feature Tiffany Stratton versus Wendy Chu in a lights out match, oh, by the way. But we also have AEW Dynamite. All eyes are going to be on Cleveland in AEW Dynamite. CM Punk, Jon Moxley, undisputed AEW World Heavyweight Championship. That's it. Thursday night, 10 p.m., the regular season finale of TXN Sports World. MF will have his final Big 3 basketball report. He will recap the All-Star game and the championship game of the Big 3. We have a champion crowned. And then it'll be all about our previews of both college football and the NFL for this 2022 season. College football, we're going to run down the power conferences. SEC, Big 10, Big 12, ACC, Pac-12, and Notre Dame. And then our division by division preview in the NFL. And then we put the ball in the regular season, and then that's going to set up the football shows for the rest of the way. So that's Thursday, and then Friday night, 11 p.m., MF's channel, BraceFan95, Cerebral Smack Talk. Friday night, SmackDown, AEW Rampage. If MF has anything in the Mikey's mindset, I know he'll get into that. So keep your eyes peeled, folks. It's going to be a fun week. So that's it. So until Wednesday night, for Wednesday Night Madness over on MF's channel, BraceFan95, Anthony Florio here, for Good Old MF Michael Fletcher, for the Phenom Michael Bullock, and in spirit, the First Lady Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw the Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed couple of days, and until Wednesday night for Wednesday Night Madness, you've been watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and StreamYard.com. And remember, my friends, no matter what anyone tells you, and especially after what we've seen over the last month, wrestling is indeed actually real. Beyond anything else, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long. Bye, everybody. Bye.